goal of his career. Here we go. This is from 48, and this kid has got ice in his veins. It's good.
Well, it wasn't a victory for the Buffaloes, but that was a feel-good story. Tyler Francis, a true freshman kicker, came in. Was perfect for the Buffs. 4 of 4 on PATs, 2 of 2 from the field goal, and a 48-yarder you just saw there. Welcome into the Buffalo Stampede television show. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Coach Gary Barnett, 42-34. Buffaloes fall here in Arizona. Have dropped 4 straight ball games. This is a very winnable contest for Colorado.
It really was, Mark. Came down to red zone opportunities early on in the game. You know, after the first 3 possessions for Colorado, we should have been 21-0.
Yeah.
Yet we failed on 2 of those, and as a result, in the end, it cost you the games. You can't get into the red zone and not get points. It's just, you know, it'll beat you every single time. And between that and some big plays we gave up in the pass game, that was the game.
Well, there's 2 things that have become consistent over the course of this 4-game losing streak, and that is an offensive line that's having trouble blocking, protecting the quarterback, and number 2, a secondary that's really having a tough time cover.
Yeah, and that's not going to change from week to week. I mean, it really showed itself, I think, in the SC game, our first loss. And it looks like everybody's watched the same film because they all go after us the same way.
It's amazing how those secrets get around.
Amazing, yeah. Those secrets don't stay secret for long, but yeah, and those aren't anything that's easy to fix. You know, you're just not going to all of a sudden change in those ways. You have to protect it. You have to disguise it. You have to do some things to help it out, but you're not going to change it.
Yeah, we mentioned Tyler Francis off the top. That's a great story for a young kid. Walks on a football team. He, by the way, didn't start kicking until his senior year in high school. He was a soccer guy, and here he is out here kicking a Division I football game.
Yeah, it's great to not know what you don't know. He doesn't know he's supposed to be nervous. I was worried for him on that long one, but you know, he handled it so well. Just kicked. There wasn't any in question. They looked like they went right through the middle.
Yeah, got a very strong leg. Ignorance is bliss. Proof of it standing right here tonight. But the Buffaloes fall, lose their 4th in a row, 42-34. There was a Buff greatness sideline down here in Tucson, and we caught up with J.J. Flannigan.
You know, this group of receivers is just incredible. I mean, talent, size, speed, to be able to catch the ball down the field. I'm telling you, these guys are going to be like them defensive backs that we had a few years ago. Well, you're going to have a lot of guys that go in the NFL draft. You know, we want to do better as a team, but I'm telling you, but these individual athletes are incredible. And we want to make sure that, you know, we support these guys. No matter up and down, we can continue to support them. So we know that this can also be turned around. We remember those days back when we were struggling back in the day, and it took one great win and changed the attitude of a lot of players. So we want to make sure that we continue to support these guys. I miss being on this sideline. The camaraderie we had as a team, being on this sideline. I'll tell you, if I wasn't 50 years old right now, I'll be suited up. It's always going to be a part of my life. The Colorado life, the Buffalo family, the alumni, this team, everything about it is who I am. This is where I grew up. You know, this is where I really grew up and became a man and learned so much from Bill McCartney. I'm excited about being here and being a part of this program forever. It's a great honor to be able to come down here and see my Buffs every year, whether they're in Phoenix or whether they're in Tucson. I enjoy coming down here.
J.J. Flannigan down here in Tucson. He watched the Buffaloes drop their 4th consecutive ball game. Buffs are 5-4, 2-4 in Pac-12 conference play. Washington State, Utah coming to Boulder, and then it's on the road to Saturday after Thanksgiving at Cal. Boy, this thing, when you're in a 4-game losing streak like this, you and I were talking about during the radio broadcast, you start to feel like you're deeper and deeper underwater all the time. This builds on a team.
Well, you wonder if you're ever going to win another one. And, you know, tonight, you know, Buffs turned the ball over twice, and we've gone 4 straight games without turning the ball over, and one early down in the red zone, and then one later. Again, I don't know, were we in the red zone? We were just outside of it when we threw that ball.
Right.
So we weren't quite in it, but we were in scoring position.
Yeah.
So, you know, that didn't help. And you throw in the fact we net 40 yards rushing after the sacks were taken out. You know, it's a tough night.
The defensive front 7 has played well enough for this team to win some football games. That area of this team has been pretty solid, don't you think?
No, I don't think there's any question about it. I think probably all 4 of those losses, they played well enough for us to win.
Yeah. Buffaloes now have got Washington State coming to town. These next 2 don't get any easier. I mean, Wazoo and Utah are probably 1 and 2 in terms of the toughest teams in the league right now.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Utah's the best team. I think Washington State's probably second best. So, but you know, it's a game. You get a chance to play, and you know fans and even ourselves get caught up with the woe is me thing, but you know, you're a football player and you get to go play another game, and you only have so many to play, and so I think that's the mentality that these guys have to have, and I think coaches need to take that on instead of feeling sorry for themselves. We get to play football. Let's go play.
On top of everything else, kind of this thing building upon itself, injuries are piling up. Laviska Shenault, we don't know about. Katie Nixon went down with looked like to be maybe a hip pointer. Jay McIntyre got his second concussion now in, 3 or 4 weeks. This is becoming problematic.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. And, you know, it got serious tonight.
Yeah.
But that's football, too, and sometimes you hit those bad streaks, and we're on one now.
Yeah, that's Coach Gary Barnett. He's along with us here in Tucson as the Buffaloes fall 42-34, drop their 4th in a row. We had Bobby Pesavento, the former quarterback, in the sidelines. He's going to join us next here in the Stampede.
Here's Tate, under pressure. Throws. Intercepted. Darian Rakestraw comes up with the turnover.
Darian Rakestraw got his first career start here in Tucson and got his first career interception. Not enough, though, for the Buffaloes. They fall 42-34 to the Arizona Wildcats. They dropped 4 in a row, 5-4 in the season, 2-4 in Pac-12 conference play. Bobby Pesavento, the former quarterback, was with us here in Tucson on the sidelines. On voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. A tough one here tonight. This is a team right now underwater a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, very tough. I mean, they had a lot of opportunities in this football game, and that's what football's all about, right? Yeah. It's making the most of the opportunities given to you, and they missed a bunch of them. And it was a tough game to lose, and even tougher when it's the 4th one in a row. Yeah.
Steven Montez threw for 3 touchdowns this ball game, had a pick, was sacked 5 times. He's trying out there. When you're behind a line, though, when you're not given a lot of time, it's tough to run the football. That makes the job of a quarterback very tough.
It really does, and the line isn't giving him any help. He could help them a little bit by maybe fundamentally doing some better things, stepping up in the pocket, not always bailing out of the pocket, because that always hurts those tackles, you know, when he's bailing that way. So it's both sides, but when he does get out of the pocket, I think he needs to be a little bit smarter and throw the football away and not try to create so much stuff and live to see another down.
Well, one thing that Gary and I talked about during the broadcast, you chimed in on this as well. I want you to kind of explain a little bit. When he is peeling out, the feet aren't right. That's affecting throws. Talk about the fundamentals of what we're talking about.
Yeah, sure. You know, when you're stepping up in the pocket, you stay in that left shoulder down the field throwing position, ready to cut him loose, right? But as soon as he starts bailing out, and he's backpedaling or he's running, he doesn't get set before he cuts it loose, and he's throwing it on the run, or he's falling backwards when he's trying to throw it, and then you see balls sail and they're not really on target, which is one of his greatest strengths. When his feet are underneath him, he has such a strong, accurate arm. But as soon as those feet get lost, the ball doesn't go where you want it to go.
And that's a tough thing, because once protection starts breaking down for a quarterback, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but you start seeing things, and you start seeing ghosts, and you're wondering, this guy's coming. Do I have time? If I step up, am I going to get clocked, right?
Yeah, it's why it's one of the hardest positions in all sports, right? Because once you get hit in the mouth a few times, your eyes get off looking down the field, and they start watching what's going on in front of you, and you get out a little too soon, or you get out before, you know, when nothing's really there because you've been hit so many times. And it just, when you can't protect that guy, it just makes his job really, really hard.
And the other part about this is guys that he was counting on to start the season are longer there. Laviska Shenault, we know about. Jay McIntyre gets dinged up. Katie Nixon. These are some of the guys he was counting on. They're not the other talented guys still in the field, but you're kind of missing your security blanket a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge to a quarterback when you know if number 2's out there, I can dump it down to him. He's going to make a play, or he's got sure hands. Same thing with Jay, same with KD. But some guys stepped up and made some pretty big plays today, vertically down the field, which is fun to see. Just wish they'd do it a little bit more and stretch the field out.
You and Gary and I were talking a little bit about leadership and the opportunity under these difficult circumstances. Coaches can only do so much. Guys in that locker room. You were talking about that 2001 team Bobby was on, Big 12 championship team. There were guys in that roster that kind of took it over from that coaching staff and led this team.
Yeah, I mean, the coach obviously is the ultimate leader and the CEO, but if there's not guys in the locker room that want to step up and take that same responsibility and challenge their teammates and hold their teammates accountable, the coach's deal can only go so far. Those guys have to get fired up. They have to rally together, and they have to push the same program that the coach is pushing to their teammates. And quite honestly, it's hard to tell if that's really happening or not, or if it's just younger guys, sophomores that are trying to do it. And it helps when it's seniors, but I don't know if those guys are here right now.
The Buffaloes are 5-4 in the season, still 1 win away from becoming bowl eligible. They've got that opportunity, but a very tough stretch here with Washington State and Utah the next couple of weeks at home. followed by the final game of the regular season, the Saturday after Thanksgiving at Cal. Coming up next, we're talking basketball after an exhibition game where Tad Boyle and the men's team, the head coach, joins us here in the Stampede.
I think you guys did a great job today cutting in motion and bigs being active screeners and guards being patient. But college basketball starts tonight. Hope you guys are going to be tuned in and watching some of these games and watching some of the best, how some of the best teams in the country play, the emotion that they play with, the passion that they play with, the togetherness that they play with, and hopefully you guys are going to be chomping at the bit to play on Tuesday. So watch basketball.
Colorado.
Family on three. 1, 2, 3, family. Yeah.
Well, the college basketball season is finally upon us as it got underway this week. Next week, Tad Boyle and the Colorado Buffaloes will open up their season against the Drake Bulldogs here at the CU Event Center. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Exhibition, by the way, 66-57. Buffaloes knock off the School of Mines. You come out of that feeling?
Well, basketball's a hard game when you can't make shots. That's why that was, you know, we didn't shoot the ball well, obviously, from three. We missed a lot of bunnies, but, you know, I thought great opportunity for our guys to learn. Not only just our freshmen, you know, you want to see them under the lights for the first time, and the new guys, but even the returning guys, I think, learned that, hey, we turned the ball over 3 times in the second half, and we guarded, you know, we won the second half convincingly, I think, by 14 or 15 points. So first half, not so good. Taking care of the ball is always an issue, obviously, especially early in the season. But some things we can really build on. But it wasn't a pretty game to watch. I appreciate the fans that did come out. We'll be better against Drake.
Yeah, the dynamic changes a little bit when you have fans in the stands and all that sort of thing. Coming off of last season, I know you had a lot of things you wanted to work on. What were your points of emphasis looking ahead to this campaign?
Well, I mentioned one of them, taking care of the basketball. You know, we really have made a big emphasis on that. We want 11 or fewer turnovers per game. But yet we still want to be aggressive, Mark. You know, we're still playing at a mile high. We're still playing at altitude. We want to get up and down, and we want to use that to our advantage. But you know, taking care of the basketball is one thing. And again, we always preach rebounding. I think that's an emphasis that we always make. And I think this is going to be a team, though, that's going to have to really make each other better. I really am looking at that assist number. I like to see 20 assists a game. I look at that game we played against Arizona State last year, our last win. We scored 97 points and had 20-some assists. That's what we want.
And that means not just McKinley, Wright.
Not just McKinley.
You want crisp passing, a good pace.
Yeah, all 5 guys. And we got a lot of guys that can shoot, a lot of guys that can score the ball, but we got to share the ball. The strength of this team is the team.
When you're around this team, one thing you love is a personality. And a couple of the guys, the Wright brothers, Namon and McKinley. We caught up with them recently.
McKinley Wright the fourth here with my bro Namon Wright, a.k.a. Showtime Ken and Kahari. How you say it? Hey, Kyrie like Irvin, man. Kyrie, my fault. Kyrie like Irvin. About to get our haircuts. You know, this is my boy Matt right here. Introduced to him by one of the football coaches. You know, he come up here faithfully to cut our hair whenever we need it, so you know, we really appreciate him for it.
Yeah, not only does he get us right, but he gets the football team right. He gets all our players right. So every time, you know, you guys see us looking sharp on the big screen, it's because of him right here.
Can't be out here crusty, man. So you know, you got to stay clean. Lineups get messed up sometimes. Hair get all wild. Facial hair, I ain't got none. I still got a baby face, but facial hair get messed up. So just need that cleanup.
And everything's recorded nowadays. So you know, you look back at a game, you like, man, I was looking crazy out there if you didn't get your haircut, you know. So it's super important for us, honestly. It's one of the first things we think about before when it's game day is to get that haircut. No, that's clean right there. Let me hop in the seat. Let me hop in the driver's seat.
Namon, we call it the nappy fro. I like it, you know, you got the taper, you got the fro with some curls in there, so, you know, I mess with the cut. It fits him perfect. Got my boy Kyrie in here getting cut up on camera. You see him. Get cleaned up by my boy Matt. Feel me?
I'm gonna need Ken to tag me on all his posts so I can steal a few followers.
You know, when it's done, you're gonna see the fresh lineup. The taper's perfect. And the facial hair gonna be lined up. So you could tell it's a huge difference between an unfinished product and a finished product when it comes to these haircuts.
You know how much your taper blends in. So you got to have that sharp, straight line in the front, and then the taper got to blend in on the sides and the back. And the rest could just, you know, be crazy on the top.
Well, those guys are a couple of personalities in this team. You got a lot of those guys, though.
We do. We've got great personality in this team, and you know, the one thing about college basketball, you sometimes you forget as a coach, because this is how you make your living. You take it pretty serious, but you want your guys to have fun and to see guys laugh and enjoying and building really friendships that are going to hopefully last a lifetime.
Yeah, certainly. Evan Batty's one of those kind of guys. And I segue to the big guys. There's a transition you're kind of going through, not having Dallas out there after the knee injury.
Yeah, you know, you can't replace that 7-footer in the lane. I mean, and Dallas did some really good things his freshman year, and I just feel so bad for him. And again, I'm looking at the silver lining of everything, which is he's hopefully still going to have 3 years of college basketball left. You know, we'll have to wait till the year's over with to file the medical hardship waiver, but.
You feel good, though, about the guys and how they can overcome
I do. We have to stay healthy. Alex Strading now becomes part of it. Jacob Dombeck continues to get better and better. So, you know, your depth is always tested when a guy goes down for the season. But if we stay healthy from here on out, we still have enough firepower inside. Just going to have to really keep it out of the post because, again, we don't have that shot blocker inside.
Yeah. Next week, the Buffs open up on a Tuesday night versus Drake, 6 o'clock here at the event. So give us a thought about what kind of test that's going to be to open.
Well, we're playing against a new coach, first-time head coach. Don't know what kind of system they're going to run. You know, we're going to go into a blind a little bit. But I'm concerned about Colorado, how hard we play, with the intensity that we play, the focus that we play. You know, usually opening night, you don't have to give a lot of rah-rah speeches. Your guys are chomping at the bit, especially with us opening up on the 13th rather than everybody else is starting on November 6th or 7th. You know, we've got an extra week. Our guys will be ready.
Optimistic about this team?
Very much so. I love coaching this team. It's going to be a work in progress. I think if anybody that came to the exhibition game saw there's going to be some growing pains, but you know, we're going to be okay as this thing unfolds.
All right, looking forward to that opener next Tuesday against Drake. Good luck this season.
Thank you, Mark.
All right, head coach Tad Boyle coming up next here in the Buffalo Stampede. An end to the season for the CU soccer team. A little disappointment there. J.J. Tompkins is going to join us next. Back in the Stampede, video there from the Senior Day festivities for the Colorado Buffaloes as they drop a 1-0 contest to the Utes of Utah at Prenton Field. J.J. Tompkins, Mark Johnson back here at the CU Event Center on the Buffalo Stampede. Well, not the way you want Senior Day to go, but give us a thought or two about that last outing there for all the seniors on this team.
Yeah, disappointing results, but Senior Day, it's full of emotion, and we all love the senior class. They're great girls and great people, more importantly. And so it was fun to celebrate them and celebrate their career and what they've done for the program over the past 4 or 5 years. So beginning of the day was really fun. Unfortunate result at the end, but we worked hard as a team. You saw the effort. You saw plenty shots on goal. So you can't ask for much more, just not our day.
I'm always interested about the senior days, whether it's soccer, football, basketball, whatever. There's great emotion. Does that carry out? Now, you know, you're going to have to face that next year. You're a junior right now. Does that carry on to the playing surface?
I think in the sense where you want to leave everything on the field, yeah. Not in the sense where you're scared or nervous. Everybody just came out really hard, and you saw in the first 10, 15 minutes the excitement and the energy really brought our own energy. And so you just want to win. You want to go out there and you want to, if you're not a senior, you want to do it for the seniors. And if you are a senior, I'm sure you just want to win because it's your senior day.
Buffs end up with 4 losses this season, and early this week got snubbed for the NCAA tournament. Certainly that final game probably played into it. Shocked, surprised, stunned? Where are you at right now?
I think right now I'm in the grieving process, you know. I think we were all just shocked. I think nobody talked afterwards. We sat in the locker room for about 2 minutes and nobody moved when Danny said you could go. I think it's disappointment for the seniors especially. I know how hard they've worked and how much they've turned this program around, and we are people to compete with in the top 20 in the nation. And so I think it hurts for them. It's going to hurt for them for a long time, I'm sure. It's still shocking and sad, but it's life. It's soccer. It's what Danny talks about all the time, and it's going to happen. You know, you're not always going to get the result you want, but it's a learning process, and I think everybody who's coming back next year knows we're going to have to work harder and get results.
If anybody says something about life giving you lemons, make lemonade, I want you to kick them this week on campus. Right?
Sounds good. Deal. Done.
Buffaloes do get snubbed. Don't make the NCAA tournament all season long. Eric Poloni and Danny Sanchez. We're doing this week in Colorado soccer. Let's hear from those fellas.
Thanks, Mark. Sitting here with head coach Danny Sanchez. Coach, kind of a bittersweet end of the season, not necessarily what anybody wants to have happen, and you can have the conversation about RPI and everything over and over and over again, but Buffs 13-4-3 finished the 2018 season. Bunch of goals, but great defense, and saying goodbye to 7 great seniors.
16-game unbeaten streak, 3 or 4 losses, top 7 RPI, finished 5th place in the top conference in the country. And unfortunately, it wasn't enough, but it doesn't take away from the season. Like I told the team and everyone was asked, it was a great season. And all but one team loses their last game, so they're all disappointed as well. So, but it doesn't take away from the season. Great group, great seniors, great leadership. Couldn't ask for more from the group.
Well, Coach, a great season for sure, and should not be overlooked at all, the accomplishments of the Buffs on the field this season. Let's throw it back out to the court with Mark and JJ.
All right, thanks, guys. Certainly a nice season for the Colorado Buffaloes. Disappointing that they don't make the NCAA tournament. When you look back in this campaign, though, that long winning streak, CU record, by the way, how do you view the campaign?
I think this season was awesome. I mean, take away the NCAA tournament, they think just about the regular season. Longest unbeaten streak, great wins, scoring lots of goals, not giving up too many. It was just an exciting season. We had a great senior class, and we had a lot of fun in the process. And it was a great season, and nothing to keep our heads down about. It was exciting. We had fun, and I think that's what matters at the end of the day. You forget that college soccer is about having fun and making these lifelong experiences. And I think we really did that this season.
You know, it's always sad when you see those seniors go, but once you look at what returns next year for the Buffaloes, what do you get excited about?
I'm really excited. I mean, we lost some great seniors, but, you know, we're still getting back a really good core group, and our defensive line was a lot of freshmen, and so it's exciting that we're going to get depth back, and we're getting good recruits in, hopefully good transfers in, so it's going to be an exciting year. That
defensive line must have played well in front of you despite the youth, because you guys did give up a lot of goals. There was one game where it got away from you, but for the most part, that unit played pretty well in front of you, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. Team chemistry plays a big part in that, and they worked hard, and they wanted to be successful. They all wanted, everybody bought in this year, and that was really exciting, and from goalkeeper, defense, midfield, forward, everybody bought in, and that helps not give up goals, and it helps score goals.
How do you get better? Now, as you get ready for your senior season, what do you look to improve upon?
Become more athletic. I need to still keep improving on my leadership skills every single day. Distribution can always improve. The list goes on and on. I don't want to give away everything yet, but definitely going to put some work in the weight room and getting off-season fitness up. So
I know it was a disappointing end here, but a nice season for the Colorado Buffaloes. Yeah. Good luck for the offseason.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, J.J. Tompkins from the CU soccer team. As we put around on the Buffalo Stampede, don't forget football this week. The Buffs are back home, Washington State, 1:30 at Folsom Field. We'll talk to you next time.